Hi everyone, my name's Mark Bates. I'm a metabolic health coach, and today another highlight presentation. 17 medications failed where food succeeded. Okay, little story. Tom suffered from schizoaffective disorder for 13 years. 17 different medications had failed him. His hallucinations persisted, his life remained trapped in psychiatric limbo. Then Dr. Christopher Palmer tried something radical. Instead of another pharmaceutical intervention, he put Tom on a ketogenic diet. Within weeks, Tom began making eye contact. After 2 months, his long standing hallucinations started receding. He began to realize they weren't true and probably never had been. This wasn't supposed to happen. The metabolic revolution. Dr. Palmer's experience with Tom catalyzed a fundamental realization. Mental illness might not be a neurotransmitter problem requiring pharmaceutical management. It might be a metabolic problem requiring nutritional intervention. This paradigm extends far beyond psychiatry. Across medicine, practitioners are discovering that dietary interventions can reverse chronic diseases where medications only manage symptoms. The evidence is mounting. Only 12.2% of American adults achieve optimal metabolic health, yet conventional medicine continues addressing symptoms rather than root causes. The system teaches doctors to suppress lab values, not restore function. The education gap. Medical schools provide 19.6 contact hours of nutrition instruction during 4 years of training. Only 27% of schools meet the minimum 25-hour requirement. This creates physicians who default to pharmaceutical interventions. When blood sugar rises, they prescribe diabetes medication. When blood pressure climbs, antihypertensives follow. Elevated cholesterol triggers statin prescriptions. But these medications rarely address why these problems developed. The conventional approach obsesses over cholesterol while ignoring fasting insulin. Yet insulin resistance precedes and drives the very conditions doctors treat with drugs. Most patients have never had their fasting insulin tested. That the overlooked marker. David's case, and this is not David, it's just a representation of him, illustrates this blind spot perfectly. The 47-year-old executive came with normal cholesterol numbers. Total cholesterol 189, LDL 102. His doctor declared everything looked good, but David struggled with afternoon crashes, stubborn belly fat, and blood pressure hovering around 138/88. His symptoms didn't match his healthy lab results. A fasting insulin test revealed the truth. 19 was his mark. Optimal levels sit around 2 to 5. David's insulin was nearly 4 times higher than healthy despite his normal cholesterol panel. He was deeply insulin resistant years before his glucose or HbA1c would reflect it. The metabolic intervention. Instead of adding medications, David's treatment targeted insulin directly through dietary modification. Carbohydrates dropped from 225 grams daily to 50 to 75 grams. Time-restricted eating replaced constant snacking. Industrial seed oils gave way to beef tallow, olive oil, and butter. The approach reframed food as cellular instruction rather than mere fuel. Within 90 days, David's fasting insulin plummeted from 19 to 7.4. Triglycerides fell from 119 to 62. Blood pressure normalized to 118/76. He lost 21 pounds, all around his midsection, and his primary care doctor asked for a consultation to find out what we did. Okay, the mechanism. Now there's David again. Ketogenic and carnivore approaches work by eliminating the foods that spike insulin, Plain and simple. Research demonstrates repeatedly that ketogenic diets cause significant reductions in blood sugar and insulin levels. The metabolic switch forces the body to burn fat rather than sugar. This creates a cascade of beneficial effects. Insulin levels plummet, inflammation markers decline, fat burning accelerates, energy stabilizes. For severe cases, the carnivore approach eliminates all plant foods. This removes anti-nutrients, oxalates, and lectins that can trigger inflammation in sensitive individuals. The results can be remarkable. Patients discontinue medications they thought they'd need for life. The resistance. When healthcare providers see these transformations, common pushbacks emerge. That's just anecdotal, they say, dismissing individual cases despite dramatic improvements. Yet, when a patient's blood pressure drops from 150 over 95 to 118 over 76 on dietary intervention alone, the numbers speak for themselves. Some fixate on LDL increases while ignoring comprehensive metabolic improvement. They treat the LDL particle rather than the patient. But when HDL rises and triglycerides drop and inflammation stays low, and modest LDL elevation often signals improved metabolic clearance, not harm, they ignore it. Okay? But there's a paradigm shift. Despite institutional resistance, change is accelerating. Patients become their own advocates after experiencing metabolic truth. A man reverses fatty liver in 6 weeks. A woman with PCOS restores ovulation through dietary intervention. Physicians quietly admit their burnout with symptom management. They seek answers beyond pharmaceutical formularies. The conversation itself signals transformation. 10 years ago, this discussion would have been fringe. Today, people demand more than symptom suppression. They want energy, purpose, and metabolic freedom. Your first step? If you've been told you need medications for life, start with one simple change tomorrow. Eat a protein-anchored, carb-conscious breakfast. Delay your first bite until you're genuinely hungry. This reverses the insulin spike that locks fat away and turns off fat burning. Blood sugar will start to stabilize and hormones begin recalibrating within days. Make it 30 to 40 grams of protein with healthy fat and minimal carbs. Skip the oatmeal, cereal, and toast that slam your pancreas with glucose. If you can, walk after meals for 10 to 15 minutes. This lowers post-meal glucose naturally. Within days, you may notice fewer energy crashes, reduced hunger between meals, and clearer thinking. The moment you view food as information rather than fuel, everything changes. Medications manage dysfunction, food rewrites it. You're not broken. You're not destined for lifelong pharmaceutical dependence. Your body wants to heal, and it has a great capacity to heal itself. It just needs the right environment. We are rebuilding medicine from the metabolic root up. One fasting insulin test, one healed patient, one paradigm shifting conversation at a time. We are not just fighting disease, we are restoring human potential. Yes, and that guy in the center, as the caption says, that's Dr. Christopher Palmer, who wrote a great book called Brain Energy, and he's well worth reading if you get a chance. Okay? All right. I want to thank you for watching. Once again, if you have any comments, leave them. If you have any ideas for a video you'd like me to do for you, this is a community. Let me know what you're interested in. We'll try to fit it in. And if you haven't done it yet, please like, subscribe, and share this video. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you very much.